Hey everyone, this is Zach Wright with iMEO Company. Today I wanted to walk you through how to build an intranet or an online portal for your company. If you're a coach, if you're an online coach, or if you just have a lot of intellectual property, so files, documents, systems that you're using behind the scene that have links that you can attach. This is a great way to consolidate every single thing that you're looking for in one location using Google Suite or G Suite and Google Sites. So if I was starting fresh, I would go to New, and then I would go to Google Sites right here. But just for the purposes of this video, I've already started a portal that I'm going to pull up now. So what we're going to see once this loads is the beginning stages of our iMEO company portal that we'll be using for our own intranet system. And I've been waiting to make this video so we could actually see this in process as we go through it. So my computer's a little bit slow, so I apologize about that. But as we see this loading, this is Google Site. This is Google Sites. If you haven't heard of it, it's very simplistic to use, especially if you have your G Suite set up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to change some of these things. So we have the portal here with the title page, so iMEO Company. And if we wanted to, we could highlight that, and then we can actually make it bolded just to make it stand out a little bit. If we wanted to change anything like the font, we could do that here as well. But I like the way that it looks right now. Then there's another way that you can add your logo and your favicon. So if you click up here, you'll see the logo. You'll be able to upload that. Then once you upload your logo, you'll be able to select a color to use for a theme. So as you can see in this section right here, it's starting to use our iMEO colors, right? Now, it's very simple to set this up. And what I'm going to show you now is I just double clicked, and then the TT stands for text. And I want this to be a heading or actually a title. So let's see what we want to call this. So this will be iMEO's calendar. Okay. So now we have that, and I'm going to double click again, and then this time I'm going to click from Drive. So if we click the Drive, we'll be able to see these things on the side over here. Now, this actually isn't what I want, so I'm going to click back off of that, and then I'm going to go down here, and you can see Calendar. So what I'm going to do here is click Calendar, and it has my zwright at iMEO Consulting. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that. And what this is going to do is going to allow me to come here to this site and see what I have for that day, that week, or that month. Now, sometimes it has a mind of its own here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this here. Now, we do a lot of our coaching on Sundays because I also have a full-time job, and that's just the best time for our clients to have a conversation as well. So now you can make this as big as you want. You can make this as small as you want. And we can even go over here where we can put that on the half version. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller here. And then also we have this that went with it. So now that allows me to add even more text over here. So if I wanted to add another title, then what I could put here is links for iMEO. So now what I want to do is on the other screen, I have this. Let's see if you can. So I have my OneNote that I went ahead and prepared for this video. So I have all the links that I'm going to be putting into this folder on the other side. So as we go here, we could either embed it, we could upload a a photo if we wanted to, or a document, or we could select straight from a Google Drive. Now for the links, what I'm going to do is just do this, and I'll show you in a second. So right now at iMEO, we're using HoneyBook for our CRM system, our payment processing system, and pretty much everything that you could think of. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this link on the other side, and we're just going to put that in here. Now you'll be able to click this, and it will take you to that specific site. So if we click off of that, and then we just start adding more. So I'm going to put all these links in here, and then we'll continue to move forward. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is turn the links into buttons instead. So if you click here, you can see HoneyBooks down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch up the site just a little bit from the layout. So once I click on this and I'm able to drag it, I can go ahead and put it on its own line. So then that way it's not going to be required for the whole button to be as long as this column is here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this out, and we'll come back to continue the video on setting up your internal site. Okay, so now you can see that we have all the links here that we're going to be using. So we have HoneyBook, Asana, Canva, online course that we have, our iMEO website, Google Analytics, privacy policy that we use, and then also our HoneyBook scheduler. So that's our automated scheduler. Now, some of the other things that we have are going to be our assessments that we have. So for this one, I'm going to go into Google Drive and show you how easy it is to do this on your end as well. So if we look, I'm very organized in our company. So we have these folders that are lined up and labeled appropriately. So if I go to iMEO assessments, what I'll do is I'll go in here. And now the cool thing is that we can insert the actual assessment itself. So what I'm going to do here is shorten this up, obviously, because that's way too long. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Not sure why it went so long, but so I shortened that up, but then there's also another feature that you can do. So if you go here and you see these under insert, you can see these areas where you can put in something that is already pre-made. So if we go here and then we go from the drive, Google Drive as well, we'll be able to put in our assessments here, where it's going to be a little bit easier. So here we go. So now you can see that this questionnaire is here. And it doesn't have to look perfect, because remember, this is just for you or your team. If you wanted this to say life audit questionnaire with the E up here, which I'll probably do on my end, you can definitely take two of these and select them down there, or you can take one away. And so actually, let's go ahead and do that. So if I take this down here, and then see, it's very click and drag-esque. So it's not too difficult to move things around. So let's go ahead and move this one over here, make it kind of like a 2-column thing. And then we'll put this where we can have two of the same size. Okay. We'll play around with this, make sure that it's perfect. But right now, just for the video purposes, what we're going to do is we're going to close that. We're going to close this. And then we're going to duplicate this. So over here on the side, you can mess with the backgrounds and the features. So if I wanted to make this orange, I could do that. If I want to duplicate it, I can do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that assessment back in here. And then you'll see the difference from the wording. So there should be enough room where life audit questionnaire will be able to fit all the way in there. So let's see. Yep. So now we have that. And then we'll be able to go to the next one and add that in here as well. So let's let that load. We'll go to the employee assessment. And these are assessments that we use for our clients. Just as a reminder, iMEO is improving management, employees, and organizations. And our goal is to build a world where organizations operate effectively and treat others appropriately. And one of the ways that we do that is really to dive into what is going on in the company. That could be from a management side or a leadership side. That can be from an employee. And that can be from the overall organization. So the systems and the process and the behaviors that the leadership team allows. We get in there and we're able to coach them. We're able to consult with them and provide the best option for them to improve their organization. And that's what some of these assessments help us do. It helps us get to the root cause as soon as possible. And then from there, we're able to break it down where we can actually help the organization be or go through that change and make it sustainable. Okay, so now we have all these up here. And then what I'm going to do here is there's a divided part here. And I'm just going to add a title so we can have an understanding of what these section or what this section is down here. So assessments for clients. We'll let that fill out there. We're going to make it bold just for it to stand out. And then another option that you can do is if you wanted to upload an image or select an image, you can go in here for a different type of visual or background. So let's say that we wanted to do this. And I don't know if this is going to look good or not, but so we can just add a little bit of pizzazz to it here. And then what it's doing right here is correcting the image to make it the best fit for what we're presenting here. So we'll there we go. So now it's made it lighter and then the font is black so we can see it more easily. So then if you wanted to, you can also do this here. So life audit, it says it on the form, but just to show you. There. So we have that there. We'll go ahead and add employee assessment. Go in here to team assessment. We'll fill that out. And then we'll do the last one here. Okay, so that's how we can add things from the drive. That's how we can add links here. And then that's how we can add our calendar as well. Now, if I wanted to just to add some flavor to it, what I can do is add a picture. So let's see. See what pictures we have here. So if I wanted to, I can go to my drive or I can do by URL or Google image. So let's just do Google image and put business. See what comes up here. And again, this is really for you and your internal employees. I like to make it look good, especially if I have employees, because it just makes it more interesting and fun to look at. So let's just click this one here and you'll see it pop up. And then we can just stretch that out. not sure why it's moving so slow, but okay, then we'll shrink it up just a little bit. Okay, so now we have that image here. We can do the same thing here if we wanted to. We can also select a different color. So we haven't selected the gray. Maybe I want to do that up here as well, just to keep it consistent. So now we can see our site is kind of coming together. So we'll do that just to keep everything separated. So now we have iMEO calendar. I'm going to go ahead and bold this just so we can keep it consistent with everything. So this is the first page. Now, if you wanted to see a preview, you can go up here and you can publish it. Now, publishing doesn't mean that it's accessible to everyone. It just means that anyone with this link or in your organization can see this. So that's something important to know. Now you can manage this as well. So if you only wanted a few people to have access to this, then you can definitely set that up by clicking manage. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it for me. I'm a solopreneur, so it doesn't really matter. But on your end, you might want to manage that where some people can have admin rights. Some people can have just viewing rights and all those different kinds of things. So now if we're looking at it here, once it populates on its own and you get out of the portal, you'll be able to see that we have a pretty good internal site that has all the things that we need to understand and have access to from an employee's perspective, an owner's perspective, and it's very simple. Now, there's other ways that you can add pages. So maybe there's, in an organization, you might want to have your contact list here, or you might want to have just a straight file documentation library that everybody in the company can access those relevant ones. And if you're doing those in the Google Drive, if you put that in there, then anything that's updated in Google Drive will be updated in this as well. So this is a simple version, but it's pretty cool to see this and how easily you can do this for your company. And also now we can try this. So I use Canva for graphic design. So if I go here, due to the link that I put on that button, it's going to take me to Canva, right? So you can see that uploading here. We don't really have to wait for that, but also you're able to click these, or you can just run through them and make sure that whatever assessment that you're using, you can make sure that it's here before you click on it, right? And now the cool thing is, if you wanted to make a client portal separate to this, then you can also add these in here and they would be embedded, and those customers or clients can take those assessments directly from there. And if you wanted to, you can add YouTube clips for training purposes or different things that make sense to you. So if we go back to the portal, so for the pages piece, if I wanted to change this, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to that portal. We haven't done anything on this. So this is actually going to be a part of the template that they already have. So let's see what they have. So they have make the most of the benefits, and you can have your health and wellness, so on and so forth. And you can add links in here. So if you have an HR program and you want people to have access to it, you would just go here, add that link to whatever the site is, and you would be able to go there, or you can add a document to that as well. So let's say that instead of benefits, we want to call this a document library for the company. So here we go. And then let's say that we want to change this image because that doesn't really go with what we're trying to promote here. So now you can also upload a picture from your own system. So let's say that we just want to use this one here. Okay, so we can see that that changed here, and we can also change the header type. So if we wanted it more like a banner, then we can shrink that down. And that's what we're going to do here. And then also, it's just a little bit tough to read, so I'm going to make that bold. So that changes things here. Now, I don't need these. So if you ever use a template just because it's easier to start with, you can always just go here and just click the trash can and it will go away. So now for our documents library, what we're going to be looking at is things from the Google Drive. And I'm going to keep this one simple because we can just pull these up and add those in there for easier access. So you can see here that we have Business Built to Last ebook, our welcome package, and my online privacy policy for iMEO. And now we can also change the way that this looks and make it a little bit more presentable. So we can do a grid view, we can do a list view. The grid view just looks better because you can actually see the pictures, but this gives employees access to the documents that they'll need for your clients. So then now we're going to republish it here. And the cool thing about Google Sites is before you publish any changes, it gives you a comparative view. So if we look here, we can see how we change benefits to document library. And if you're comfortable with that, then you'll go ahead and publish that. Then you can view the actual site. So as that pulls up, you can see the different things that we added here, the documents, the document library. And then we also still have the home page. And you can add as many pages as you want to and whatever makes sense for you. So I just wanted to run everybody through this to make sure that you are utilizing Google Sites to your full potential, because a lot of people would pay a lot of money for intranets whenever they have this at their fingertips if they're using G Suite. And you can do the same thing with SharePoint. We just so happen to use G Suite for iMEO. But if you have any questions on how to set this up, you can definitely dive in more detail and add a lot more to make it look presentable and just make it look more customized to your organization. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us at zwright@imeoconsulting.com, or you can follow us at Zach A. Wright on Instagram, iMEO Company on Facebook, and then iMEO Company on LinkedIn. And then obviously subscribe and like on YouTube. But thanks for watching this. And like I said, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to us.